Hi, Andrew here. I blew it again. As a part of my getting back in shape, as a part of my practicing the practice, after several weeks of taking my daily walk, I decided it was time to add in daily yoga. I have back issues. I did many things over my youth that caused me back problems, not the least of which was I'm a computer monkey. I drive a CAD computer. I've been hunched over computers for almost 30 years now. And hunching over a computer, you're getting in there and typing away, it's really bad for your back. And I learned to correct that. And I got a very healthy, strong, resilient back. But over the course of my slothful sluggishness of the last couple of years, it started to revert. If you have a habit that exceeds, that runs in the 5-decade range, or well over 4 decades, and you spend 3, 4, 5 years correcting it, the overall weight of that, multi-decadal habit versus the weight of the few years habit, when you've been doing this 10 times longer than this, when you revert to habit, and my back started to hurt. And I was having posture problems and a lot of stuff that goes along with, and I needed to correct that. Over the course of the COVIDiacy, at several occasions, started doing daily yoga. I would do it as a part of my work day. Oh, it's lunchtime, I'll do yoga before I eat. But something had come up. And, I don't have time now. I got a meeting coming up. I'll just quickly hork down a couple peanut butter sandwiches, and then I'll get into the meeting and I'll do my yoga later. And guess what? Later would never come. And then the next day it wouldn't come, and suddenly I wasn't doing it again. And nothing different from the New Year's Revolution conundrum I've talked about a couple of times. I needed something to get me back to doing it, to relearn the habit. And again, what I talked about before, the practice of practice. So the first thing I did was, I believe it was 3.5 weeks of daily walks. And then on, I think, a Monday night, I said, okay, it's time. Your back is sore. You hurt. You've got to start strengthening and doing mobility exercises. You've got to get your posture back. You got to get your resilient back. And so I did. And again, to lower the barriers, the first day, instead of the 15 minutes that I normally would do, 15 to 20 minutes that I would normally do, I did 5 to 7. I did 1/3 and stopped because I didn't want to overstress and leave myself sore so that the next day I'd have an excuse. I hurt. I'm hurting. I'm not going to do it. And the next day becomes the next day and the next day, and it doesn't properly restart. So day 1, I did 1/3. Day 2, I did 2/3. Day 3, either 2/3 or the full workout. But by day 4, I was doing my full back, shoulder, my posture maintenance yoga routine. And I was doing a little bit of meditation before and after, and I time it using my watch. After 2 weeks of that, I got a report saying, you've done 14 sessions of the meditation. And I said, okay, I have consistently done a solid week of posture maintenance yoga, back maintenance yoga. Now it's time to start alternating. It's going to be posture, core strength, posture, core strength. Because I needed, in addition to the maintenance routine for strength, stability, mobility in my back, shoulders, spinal column, and so lumbar, you got to develop your core strength. And if I want to get in truly good shape, if I want to be able to go kayaking, go kayaking sometime and see how much core strength that takes. I needed to redevelop that. And I'll admit to having a certain level of body pride. I'm a guy in his mid-50s who still has a six-pack. I think that who normally who normally has a six-pack, who let it rot away over the last 2 years, but I'm getting it back. And I'm proud to be getting it back, and I'm proud to have the body that I do at the age that I am. Well, that's part of my motivation to do that. Some of it is just simple pride. Some of it is I got to be healthy, and in order to be healthy, I got to have balance in all of my systems. I'm losing the thread of the plot here. So I was doing posture, core, posture, core, posture, core. And I did that for a couple of weeks. And last night, I blew it. Last night was core yoga, and I didn't do it. I started weight training. Now, I hate weightlifting. I got a great story about it. I wrote it all out on my on standupright.ca today about how I got shredded in at a time when I was working in the concrete industry, and how I tried to maintain it through weightlifting, and I couldn't because my body didn't want to keep the muscle. I'm getting older. It is very important to maintain muscle and bone density, and you do that through resistance training. My primary source of resistance training the last 12 years has been yoga. Well, I haven't gone back to the yoga club because in about a month I'd normally put my membership on suspension. I put it on hold for the summer so I can go kayaking. So that leaves me weight training. Well, my boys had got all 4 of the Harvey males into weight training. Oddly enough, it was my youngest who got it going, but he found a beginner weight routine. And last night, instead of my core yoga, I did 2/3 of that with about 80% of my normal weight. Again, avoiding DOMs and the barriers to entry and the barriers to doing it again, because I expect to be doing it again. I got to do it at least a couple times a week. I have to figure something out. Maybe it's yoga weights, yoga weight. I don't know. I got to figure something out, but I will do it. I got to incorporate it. But I need to incorporate it in a smart way so that there's no barrier to entry. But why did I substitute it for my core yoga? Because they're strength training. In the back yoga, the posture yoga, has some strength training, but mostly it's about mobility and stability, and it's functional. The core training and the weight training is about building muscle mass. Different exercises, different purposes. But that's why I chose that one. So similarly to when I mentioned that I blew my walking streak, well, I didn't blow my aerobic exercise streak. I simply substituted something in to make it more interesting, to make it more useful, to break up the monotony so that I can continue to push and redevelop this habit of exercise. And that is what I did by swapping weight training, weightlifting in for my core yoga / Pilates training. Here I am 24 hours later, and I'm feeling a bit of the DOMS, the delayed onset muscle soreness. But it's not so much that tonight I can't do my my back maintenance yoga, and tomorrow move on to either core or weights. I haven't broken the cycle, and I haven't truly blown it. I've simply gone one layer below. The top layer is streak of yoga. The layer below is streak of yoga and muscle building. And that's what I've done. So, you know, that silly expression, sorry, not sorry. Well, I guess the analogy would be blown it, not blown it. So, thanks for watching. Sorry, let's try that again. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment, give me a like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. That was my time. Now it's your time. And in the meantime, take care of yourself, and you'll see me soon.